uh, just to do some comedy with my wife as my inspiration for some of this stuff. She gives me good material. So, you know, I don't know what it is with my wife in directions. If I say turn left, she turns right. And she has issues with left and right, and I don't know what that's about, but in general, when it comes to directions and going places, she needs a GPS, which I got her. But then sometimes she'd forget, so I borrow it and I forget to put it back in the car. So she calls me the other day, she was downtown somewhere. Says, I don't know how to get back home. I'm like, okay, where are you? You know, it's like 1-800-GPS-3 is the phone number these days. So it's like, I'm on this road and there are gray buildings, about 4 of them. And I'm going, okay, that's a lot of help. Can you read the name off the icon? It's too small. All right, gray buildings downtown. I'm thinking everywhere, on every street downtown has gray buildings. So that's very helpful. Anyway, somehow we struggle into, you know, figuring out what direction she's going. I say, call out the names of the building you see if you can. You know, Minto Place. Okay, now we know where we are. So anyway, I get her home. One day she dropped me off at the airport. I'm in the plane waiting, and she's going home to pick up the kids, and my cell phone rings, and I'm like, okay, since we're not flying yet, I can answer the phone. I answer it. So I'm thinking she's calling to say goodbye. I'm going to miss you. No such luck. She's phoning to say, I've been driving up and down Hunt Club. I went one way and I thought I'm going the wrong way. I turned around, went the other way. I thought I'm still going the wrong way. Turned around, went the other way. So I'm like, okay, now tell me which direction you're going so that I can figure out whether it's east or west and direct you home. I don't know. I'm lost. I don't know. You can't ask me these questions. I can't read the signs. More gray buildings around. Oh, shit. Anyway, so somehow I managed to figure out where she was and got her directed. So, you know, she brought me here to save some money and, you know, to drop me off. That's what wives and husbands do. And then she goes to the daycare and they fine her for being late to pick up the kids. I wonder why. So we were saving money going to the airport, and we pay that money going back to the daycare. So how did this help me? Anyway, so this is a frustration. And my wife, she's like, you know, we go to Toronto a lot and we drive back, and my wife's like, okay, well, you know, sometimes you're sleepy, you had a meal, you know, you shouldn't be driving. So I let her drive, and I keep telling her, make sure you keep to the speed limit. We don't want any speeding tickets, the worst kind. I'm asleep, and all of a sudden she slams the brake hard, and I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, you know, because of the sudden braking, I wake up, look, and I'm staring at a police officer. I'm going, oh shit, this is great. And she rolls down the window, and the police officer is yelling at her going, I didn't ask you to stop, keep going. But now that you pulled over, just pull to the side so you don't like get in the way of cars going to hit you on the way. I'm like, oh geez. I'm going, thank God, he says, I didn't pull you over, and I'm hoping that she's not going to say anything to make him keep her. You know, she gets mad because it's never her fault that something has gone wrong. Like, she's speeding, it's not her fault, but, so I'm like, you know, sudden shock of looking at a police officer going, shit, well, there goes my insurance. And he goes, I didn't pull you over, but next time if you are pulled over, pull inside the line, don't stay outside, you're going to get hit. So he's like yelling at her. I'm like, because somebody had to yell at her because she doesn't listen to me when I tell her things. Thanks, officer, for helping out because this is what we need. So after a bit of yelling, she starts driving, and then we're driving away, and she's like yelling and going on, not at me, but that woman, you know, she made me get pulled over because she was like driving like an idiot, and I'm trying to get away from her and get in front of her and trying to cause an accident. You know, it's her fault, it's not my fault that I got pulled over. Well, you were speeding, even though you're trying to take over that woman out. Luckily, it's the woman being pulled over and not you. But geez, man, we don't need this. We got handing over money for no reason. Anyway, one day, we're driving, my wife, kids, all of us, you know, usual day to work. All of a sudden, in the middle of the road, on the way to the daycare, not even like 5 minutes after we left home, the car just shuts down. I'm like, what the heck happened? Like, no lights come on, no warning signal, nothing, just shuts down. I try to start it, it won't. I'm like, what the heck's going on? Then I'm thinking, and I asked her, oh yeah, now I remember, she went to get gas yesterday, what'd she do? So I asked her, did you get gas? Well, looks like you did. Do you remember what you were putting in there? She goes, yeah, the usual gas. I go, do you remember the sign in front of it? Anything that you recall? And he goes, come to remember, you know, I remember now, I couldn't get that nozzle inside the gas tank. I'm going, oh shit. You can get the gas nozzle in, but how did you put it in and get it? Oh, I somehow squeezed it in and got the gas going. I'm like, oh great. So she filled it up with diesel. So I'm asking her, do you remember the sign that might have been right in front of you? What did it say? She goes, did it say diesel? And she goes, yeah, maybe, come to think of it, yeah. Well, I think it is, because the car stopped working and it's in good condition, so it shouldn't stop working. And thank God she did the cheaper car, not the expensive one, thank God. And then we call in the service, CAA, and tow the car. $650 later, we get the car back, cleaned, diesel taken out. Yeah, that was the problem. And it's all working fine now. Well, who knows, it might have still damaged the car, but it's working fine. And then she's got the nerve to sit there and go on, it's my fault now. We have two cars. She has hers, that's her car, and I have mine. And if the gas is low on her car, whose responsibility is it, mine or yours? It's apparently my fault. Anyway, after finishing, accusing me of this, then she has the nerve to say, that gas station, who do they think they are putting that diesel in there? And I'm going, honey, there are taxi drivers, and taxis need diesel, and there are trucks that need diesel. That's why they have them. Like, well, the guy in the counter, he should have said something when I was trying to put the gas in. He should have said, that's diesel, don't put it in, like, something like that. It's his fault, and it's Shell Station's fault for not, keeping it separate and keeping it right next to all the other gas. I'm like, oh, geez, yeah. Again, not her fault, my fault, or it's the gas station's fault. And funny thing is, she's been putting gas all these years. I don't know how she screwed that one up. So, anyway.